My name is Davidson Chifungu. I work as Y Malawi coordinator for Malawi, and my main responsibilities is to coordinate the partners. We have World Relief, Koma Youth Department, Fishers, Trainers and Senders, Chiefs Ministry, Ebenezer, Koma Hospital. All these are Y Malawi partners in Malawi, and I coordinate their work and to look at their strategies and implementation of their programs in Koma Chirenje, but also in Nkota Kota. Malawi is ranked as one of the poorest countries in Africa, in the world actually, and therefore poverty is the main challenge that people of Malawi face. The second one is illiteracy or ignorance, because they have no knowledge of how things could be done, simple things. And the final one I would say is spiritual. People in Malawi do not understand the love of God for them, and therefore they always resign to fate. While Malawi is a very holistic ministry in Malawi, we are addressing these challenges. For example, the issue of poverty. We provide training for sustainability of their lives. We teach them how to do proper farming, farming God's way or conservation farming, so that they can fend for their families. We teach them how to save, to keep their money. It's called Village Savings and Loans. These are programs that our partners are running in the villages, so that at least at the end of the day they have something to save. We have a vocational training center, and we run youth programs where we train the youth to be able to, do tailoring, carpentry, and other programs that sustains them to address the issue of poverty. And those that are school-going age, we try to help those girls, boys, women mainly, girls especially, to go back to school and to work hard so that they can be educated and be able to sustain themselves when they grow up. The second one, in terms of the ignorance and illiteracy, we run literacy classes in most places. As I've already said, we also send children or girls back to school so that they get education. And in those youth clubs, we also teach them a lot of things that they should know. In personal health for the girls, sanitary pads and stuff, it's still a big issue in Malawi. And girls don't go to school because they feel like, embarrassed and they can't take care of themselves. And so we do provide education in those areas. And so we address the issue of ignorance by bringing in some kind of education for adults as well as for children. Issue of spiritual problems, we bring evangelism. We have a lot of Bible studies for chiefs, Bible studies for young people, Bible studies for ladies, and a lot of evangelism, just to make sure that people understand God and they understand that God loves them. When people understand that God loves them, Jesus died for them, the hope in them is generated again, and they have a reason for them to continue living, and eventually they start doing some activities that are beneficial for their families, for their children, and for their future. So we address all these three problems. The Y Malawi model is very different, just as I've explained, that it is very comprehensive and very holistic in approach. Most programs will come and just do like adult literacy and that's it. Others will come and just do evangelism. They'll preach Christ and then they'll leave the people. They don't understand them, there's no relationship with them, and they will go. Others will come and do village savings and loans, and then they will go. They don't help them. So if, for example, they do village savings and loans, and the people have not been, converted, they are not Christians, they are not trustworthy, there's no integrity. So they end up borrowing the money and they don't pay back, and they start fighting. But the Y Malawi model is that, first of all, we have the partners that I mentioned. All of them are specializing in a specific program. And so it's comprehensive. Others are doing evangelism, Bible studies, farming God's way, village savings and loans, vocational training. And so we save the whole person and bring solutions to all the problems that they're facing at the same time. So Malawi works behind the Malawian organizations that are already on the ground. So even when teams come to help us from the States, they work alongside the people that are already here. When the teams have left, the people that are in Malawi, the partners, will continue to develop a relationship with chiefs, women, youth, children. They continue to work together to find solutions to the problems that the people are facing. So we don't fix the people, we don't fix their problems. We sit down with them, develop a relationship, and they suggest their own programs and how they can fix their problems. So it's comprehensive, it's very holistic, spiritual as well as physical, and we address the whole person. I think we are doing exactly what Jesus did. Jesus did not just preach the gospel and leave the people hungry. He fed them. When they were sick, he treated them. When they were lacking food, we gave them food. Those that were being marginalized, he helped them and touched them. And so Malawi, we do the same. We go to the village, be with the people, being present with the people. We value that much. Even when people come from the States, teams coming to be with us, to work alongside the partners, we value the presence. We call it the ministry of presence. Just being with the people, greet them, sing with them, love them. And that's what Jesus taught us, to be able to reach out to people in that way. We believe there is a saying in Africa that when you educate a woman, when you educate a girl, you educate a whole nation. When you educate a boy, you educate an individual, because women are the ones that will, bring life. For example, they give birth to children, they stay with the children, they will, look after the children. So in Africa or in Malawi, for example, we have, if you have a girl that gets married early, at the age of maybe 14, 15, 16, which is normally the case in places like Nkota where we work, that means it's going to have a great number of children, but then it doesn't have resources to look after the child or the children. So we end early marriages through educating the girl. If he stays long time in school, that means he will have children when he's mature, he's older, to take care of the children. Secondly, when the girl or the woman understands the responsibilities that goes with childbearing, they also, decide to have fewer children so that they take care of them. And then as I said earlier, they provide for their families, they look after their families, they take care of their children. So when we educate the woman or educate the girl child, we're actually changing the foundations or the foundation of our country, and that in 10 years, 20 years time, we have more women educated, and they'll have a greater impact on their own children, their own families, their own villages. And therefore, we believe that this is a very important program to sponsor girls and to sponsor women, because they are the custodians of our families and of our culture. I've shared with many about my testimony that I grew up in the village, and I understand the challenges that a village child go through, girls as well as boys. And therefore, all my life I've always prayed that we should be able to go into the villages and try to help those we can help. And so people always worry, there's too much trouble in the world, many problems, but I always tell them to remember the story of the starfish. You help one at a time, and you don't get tired with those that you are not saving, but at least have an impact on at least one. Thank you.